morning, everyone. Finally, I get to go out on an assignment. 张凯，好久不见了。
来不及解释，赶紧上车。
帅哥 ，Hello。Liu says 80% of the company's suppliers have resumed work. A 1 billion yuan in revenue company. While it faces supply chain disruptions, a bright spot has emerged for the company. Dr. Li, how else can 5G assist in reducing the burden of frontline doctors, whether they're in Wuhan, Hubei, or across the country?
对于前线、对于一线的技师
Medical personnel on the front line are very tired.
One of the main challenges now is still the insufficient supply of testing kits. Currently, we understand diagnosis is first and mostly reserved for people who show symptoms of COVID-19. But with the increased accuracy and production volume of these detection chips, people with mild symptoms or even with no symptoms at all can be tested.
For many of these vendors, these food stalls represent their only source of income. Ultimately, they told me it's all about weighing the costs and benefits. And to them, even though sales volume and value are still far from what they used to earn, the price to pay of not resuming operations is higher. Well, there are about 680 tourist spots in all of Sichuan province, top-rated tourist spots. And of this number, we understand that about a third, or 218 tourist spots, have been reopened. So this is as of the 11th of March. Since the COVID-19 outbreak happened, nursing homes across China have been put under what is known as a closed management system. Basically, no outsiders are allowed inside. Neither can those on the inside leave. Anything that goes inside have to first be disinfected. And this is to fend off risks, as the elderly is known to be one of the most vulnerable groups to the virus. I asked grandmother Lin if she knows what's going on. She says she stays on top of the news daily and isn't worried.
There have been good prevention and control methods inside here from the very beginning.
Now that approval is slated for May, but even this is up in the air.
Situation of coronavirus in China has been put well under control. However, given the break of the coronavirus in Europe, in UK, our technical team and our management team, they cannot return to Chengdu to work here as planned. We have to revise our production plan.
Professor, after patients have recovered and they get discharged from hospitals, you've seen 284 people recovered. What are the chances of them being reinfected again?
Generally speaking, the virus infecting diseases is not so easy to reinfect again.
Kevin is taking his 70% pay cut in stride and says China came through faster than he expected in containing the pandemic.
I think they've done as good as they could. They had a rough start, and everybody knows about that. But once they decided that this was the proper course of action, the advantage they had is they made a decision and then they stuck to it. And now you and I are sitting here talking. That means things are getting better. If they weren't getting better, I wouldn't be here, or you wouldn't be here.
And neither would 72-year-old Vito, who calls for people to reflect on the value of life.
For tomato like the solidarity, the friendship, love to other people, the hope, the sacrifice. I hope that the nation can't think about this. Don't compete only to guarantee the best GDP. This is not the best value. They have to take care about the healthy, mental, physical, spiritual health of their people.
On the 17th of March, the Sichuan provincial government said the F&B service industry can now fully reopen in low-risk areas under a set of prevention and control measures. This means they can now take in customers at full capacity. Now, while sentiments on the ground appear to be improving, there is still caution. Businesses here tell me they are walking on a rather tight rope to, on one hand, balance pushing out for more sales, but on the other hand, ensuring proper precautions such as crowd control. In Sichuan province, there were almost 50,000 voluntary registration of body and organ donations in 2019. That's a huge jump from more than 8,000 cases in 2018 and just 3,800 cases in 2017. You know, they told me that while they will actually continue to sell their food online, they're not actually banking on this as a way out. Schools in Sichuan have joined a few other provinces in China as they resume classes for senior high school students. This is so that they can prepare for what is often touted as the most important examination in their lifetime. Some experts have cautioned the possibility of an excessive development and supply of farm stays across China. And the COVID-19 pandemic has merely deepened certain fundamental shortcomings of these farm stays. Reynolds says it was his open mind that led him to unexpectedly find love.
Now it's 5 years that I spent here, and I don't regret it at all. I got the life-changing experience I was looking for.
HitGen says its own program is now in phase 1 clinical trial stage.
We also continue to improve the chemical novelty and the developability, physical chemical properties of the molecule, the quality of the molecule as well.
Now, this restaurant is not alone. As time passes and customer confidence grows, this has also translated into improved daily sales at other restaurants. And while many ramped up online deliveries at the height of the pandemic, as the situation appears to be under control here, many restaurants are seeing better dine-in figures than their online deliveries platforms. Hello to you, Pantong. Well, the general picture here is that restaurants and street food vendors are seeing an improvement in their sales over time compared to what they were earning when they first reopened. 因为你已经经过了这个疫情有2个月了，跟我们国外的这些创业者有什么分享？
我觉得创业的话，不管是创业还是做什么事情，所有的事情我觉得以终为始，就是你坚持初心，那你坚持下来了。在我们中国叫做胜者为王。对。
Let me try translate that. So I think you said that as an entrepreneur, you have to know your end in mind, like what's your ultimate goal. And so, I mean, money is important, but it's not just all the time about making money. So I think really just, persisting, knowing that, putting your heart into what you're doing and always remind yourself that the reason why you actually ventured into this in the first place. So thank you so much, Taning. 祝你一切顺利哈。谢谢。I think, the last time we spoke, his wife was pregnant, so she just delivered. 恭喜你的这个媳妇儿刚出生。
谢谢，非常感谢，非常感谢。
So 张女士，今天看到了您有一个员工了。上次我采访您时候是没有员工是吧？
是的。
你现在有进步了是吗？
比起刚开业的时间进步大多了，因为现在很多有进出的那些人员都可以出来流动走动了，还有个别郊区的那些旅游的也可以过来旅游了。
So Ms. Zhang said that, okay, firstly, I actually noticed that now she has a staff member because the last time I came it was just her and her husband. She said she couldn't afford to actually get her stuff back. So it's nice to see that now she can actually afford to get her stuff back. And she also said business is now better because certain travel restrictions have been lifted. Now the COVID-19 pandemic has spurred micro businesses like this sofa maker to recalibrate its business model and strategy. The company is relooking its entire supply chain to try bring down costs but still maintain the quality of its sofas, all to bring its end customers more value for money options.
The only measure that you can take if the vast majority of the population of a nation is reasonably satisfied with the human rights situation in their own environment.
Start their own businesses, creating close to about 20,000 jobs. However, local authorities say attracting and retaining middle to higher level management staff remains one of the district's biggest challenges. I asked Dr. Hu if this is conclusive enough to prove the efficacy of TCM in fighting COVID-19.
To get a more general conclusion, we'll still need to find more control groups to further analyze our data, but I think we can draw parts of a conclusion here. Patients who receive our TCM prescriptions saw an improvement in their CT scans, negative conversion of their nucleic acid tests, and a faster discharge time from the hospital.
Now, it's not just the food and beverage industry in Chengdu that has fully reopened to take in dine-in customers. Since the middle of March, other service providers such as banks, telecommunication services, and public transportation have all resumed operations. And many are turning this COVID-19 crisis into opportunities as they refine their value propositions such that customers can get more bang for their buck. Now, since these factories started churning out toys in the last 10 years, exports have accounted for almost all of its sales, finding their way to 180 countries. It was only in 2018 that the company decided to penetrate the local Chinese market.